Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Baby, let the tricks begin. Let the tricks begin. Let the tricks begin now. Baby, let the tricks begin. Let the tricks begin. Let the tricks begin.
What's up, Dregs? It's time for the Booktube games, and I'm here to represent Ketterdam. We're gonna read a lot of books, and I'm so excited to be hosting for this team along with Olivia Rates a Latte. You can check out my announcement video as well as my own announcement video for more details on the Booktube games. But basically, they start tomorrow, and I can't freaking wait. Let's just get into what I plan to read in the month of February. It's the shortest month, but I have the longest TBR, and maybe a little bit ambitious, but I'm willing to do it for Ketterdam because we are going to win. First up on the list is Sawkle Girls by Claire Legrand, and this is a group book that me and Olivia chose together, and I'm planning on reading this one on audiobook. It's a thriller. I read Furyborn by Claire Legrand in 2018, and it was one of my top books of the year. I absolutely loved it, so I'm excited to read more of a mystery thriller from her, and I love listening to mystery thrillers on audio, so I'm ready to get my listen on and win the games. Basically, the little tagline that goes along with Sawkle Girls I think puts it best. Beware of the woods and the dark, dark deep. He'll follow you home and won't let you sleep. Sounds very mysterious and spooky. In this book, we follow the Sawkle Girls. New Girl Marion, Pariah Zoe, and Queen Bee Val. Their stories come together on the island of Sawkle Rock, where girls have been disappearing for centuries, but no one's done anything about it. Until now. It just sounds like the perfect audiobook read and the best way to kick off this month-long readathon. I'm hype. Next up, we have King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. This is one of my most anticipated releases of the year, where basically this is now part of the new Nikolai duology in the greater Grishaverse, where we have the Grisha trilogy as well as the Six of Crows duology. You do need to have read both of those series before diving into this book because we follow characters from both. We follow the aftermath of the Rodkin Civil War with King Nikolai Lantsov on the throne, but his country has been completely ravaged by this war. He's trying to rebuild the Grisha army and stop the threats coming to his kingdom from all sides. However, there's a growing dark magic within Nikolai that he must stop before it will ruin everything. And we're gonna see so many of our favorite characters. I already know that Zoya is gonna play a big part of this. I love Zoya. She's like mean, but I love her. Nikolai, of course, I love Nikolai. And also Nina from Six of Crows. So I'm very excited to see how their paths will cross. And I mean, it's Leigh Bardugo. I love it. I'm so excited. And I know a lot of people on Team Ketterdam are looking forward to reading this book together. So we will be discussing it in our little chat on Discord. And I just can't wait to share all of the King of Scars feelings with everyone. The theme of this month is pretty much all of the books that I have on my shelves and I haven't read yet, so that's fun. Next up is a buddy read with my friend Madison over at Princess of Paperback, and we are going to be buddy reading Nevernight by J. Kristoff. This is a book that I have had my eye on for such a long time, and now I'm super excited to be finally buddy reading something with Madison because we already know we're going to be obsessed with this series. It's basically like a dark, violent, gruesome adult fantasy book where we follow Mia Corvair. Her father was executed as a traitor and her life was ruined. She's had to take to the streets where her talent to speaking to the shadows guides her to this place called the Red Church, which is a school for assassins. As she learns how to become one of the deadliest assassins on the planet, she's driven with vengeance towards the people that destroyed her family. I just need to know what stab, stab, stab means. I follow J. Kristoff on Twitter. I see it all the time. I need it. Also, if I finish this one, hopefully, maybe, we'll see, I'll move on to God's Grave by J. Kristoff. This is actually a signed first edition that I got on Book Outlet, which is a great deal. Super cool. I love when you can find random discounted signed books. It's great. The thing about this series is I've been trying to find the UK hardcover for a while now, and it's like impossible unless you want to sell your firstborn child for it. So I'm not trying to do that, but because there's been such a demand, and especially a lot of people are tweeting at J. Kristoff about how much they want to buy it, I feel like there may be a reprint in the works. So keep an eye on J. Kristoff's Twitter, because if he announces that, I will die of happiness because I don't want to pay $300 as much as I want the UK hardcover. The next book I'm hoping to get to is Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nagan. I actually got this book on Black Friday at Barnes & Noble because it was half off, and so I got the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, which is super cool. I mean, just look at this cover, it's absolutely gorgeous. This book has been taking BookTube by storm, and I think it's about time that I got to it. Each year, 8 beautiful girls are chosen as paper girls to join the king's harem, but this year there's a 9th girl and she's made of fire. Lee lives in a remote village with her father and is in the paper cast. Decades ago, the snatching of her mother by the royal guard still haunts her and her father, and her life is torn apart when the royal guard once again comes for Lay. Once in the palace, she isn't content to sit idly by. She does the unthinkable. She falls in love. I'm just excited to read this one. I've heard so many good things about it. It's an Asian-inspired fantasy, and I believe it's based on Malaysian mythology, where the author is from, and I need more Asian-inspired fantasies in my life. I'm super excited to dive into the mythology of this world, and I already know I'm gonna love it. This is a book I should have gotten to probably a while ago. I believe it was on like my July TBR, and I just never ended up reading it, and that is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. Again, another book that has taken BookTube by storm. We follow Zélie, whose mother was murdered by the king that banished all magic from the lands. Zélie sets off to return magic to the kingdom with the help of a rogue princess. I really feel like this book just got huge. I've heard it being compared to Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I don't know if that's completely accurate. And I do know that it has overtures of modern day facing people of color, such as police brutality, stuff like that. So I'm really interested to see how that's woven into the fantasy element. And so many people love this book, and I'm very, very excited to give it a try, finally. This is another book I bought a while ago and have been ignoring and feel bad about, and that is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. I read the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer maybe in like March of last year. I adored them, and if you know me, I love superheroes. I love all the superhero movies and TV shows, and I love reading, so a book about superheroes, right up my alley. Renegades is set in a world of superheroes with factions of good and evil. We have the Renegades who believe in peace and justice, and the anarchists that try to disrupt it. Nova hates the Renegades, and she's on a mission for vengeance. But on her secret mission, she encounters Adrian, a renegade boy that believes in justice and also in Nova. But Nova serves a dark evil master. Yes, superheroes, I want to get to this book. I've heard great things about it, and also I can hopefully get to Arch Enemies as well, because I mean, just look at this cover. I'm in love with it ever since they announced it, and this book series is now a trilogy, so there will be a 3rd book coming out in late 2019, and I'm just really excited to give this series a try. Next up on my list is Onyx and Ivory by Mindy Arnett. We follow Traitor Kate, named so because her father tried to assassinate the king. Now Kate is an outcast as a member of the Imperial Courier Service. The land is plagued by night drakes, which are deadly flightless dragons, but Kate has a secret. She's a wilder with the power to control the dragons, which is also a power that will get her executed. Her magic leads her to a caravan that is assaulted by these night drakes in broad daylight and reunites her with a long-lost childhood friend, Corwin. Corwin is the second son to the king and was also Kate's first love. He was heading out to investigate rumors of unrest in the far reaches of the kingdom when his caravan was attacked, and now Kate and Corwin's fates are intertwined once again. This description just sounds really unique and cool, and I've heard this book is full of so much political intrigue that I myself am intrigued. So I'm hoping to get to this one this month, and I know I'm just gonna love all of like the political maneuvering going on. And I also like the idea of like lovers to enemies and maybe lovers again. I don't know, I haven't read the book, but we shall see. And I believe this is part of a duology, and the 2nd book, Shadow and Flame, is coming out in June. And last up, we have Ash Princess by Laura Sebastian. Theodosia was 6 when her mother, the Fire Queen, was killed and the Kaiser rose to power. Theo is kept as a prisoner and called the Ash Princess and is forced to do unspeakable things. She must use her smarts to outmaneuver the Kaiser and end his treacherous reign once and for all. I'm very excited by this book. I heard great things when it came out. I love stories that are about women that use their smarts to outmaneuver their enemies. I think it's going to be really interesting and a lot more of machinations than maybe battles. So I'm ready for it. And that about does it for my physical TBR. I could change my mind. Maybe I'll buy some books and end up wanting to read those instead. I don't know, but this is kind of like the books I have my eye on, and I also am going to be reading audiobooks as I always do as the month goes on, because I have the app Libby that I've been using with my library. So really what I read on audio, besides Sawkle Girls, just depends on what is available. So the things that I have the potential to read that I may either have or are on hold in my library are The Cheerleaders by Carrie Thomas, My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton and Jody Meadows, Broken Things by Lauren Oliver, and Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. Those are the ones that are predicted to come in within the month of February. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know. It really just depends on the timing of the loans and stuff like that, if there's other people on hold. But yes, I'm very excited for the Booktube games. This is such an ambitious TBR. I have faith in myself and my team that we are gonna crush this month, absolutely, and I am just so freaking excited for the Booktube games, and let the games begin.
Are you ready for it?